Hello everyone, warm welcome to Testbook JAIIB YouTube channel. I welcome you all in the next session for your PPB examination. मई 2025 के एग्जामिनेशन के बाद कहीं ना कहीं काफ़ी सारे स्टूडेंट्स का जो कॉन्फिडेंस था रिलेटेड टू पीपीबी वो काफ़ी शेकन हुआ, काफ़ी ज़्यादा डाउट्स आपके दिमाग में आए दैट वेदर यू विल बी इन अ पोजीशन टू क्लियर दिस एग्जामिनेशन इन द अपकमिंग attempt or not. So in order to help you guys in a very appropriate manner, I am starting with a new series for you all. I have started with a new series for you all where we are discussing many important questions based on some of the important topics of your PPB syllabus, which will help you to understand as well as revise the content as well as the important concept in an appropriate manner. So if you want to download the PDF of this particular session, that will be available on my Telegram channel. @Testbook Banking Professionals is the handle, and even you can scan the code in order to join our Telegram channel. Here we go with the first question of the evening. आज शाम का पहला question ये रहा आपकी स्क्रीन पर. A minor above age of 10 years can independently operate a savings account. That is correct. This has been recently announced by RBI, and RBI ने अपनी recent announcement में बहुत क्लियरली ये मेंशन किया है कि इफ यू आर ऑफ एज ग्रेटर देन 10 years you can independently operate your bank account. Next point is joint account can be opened only by individual, not HUF. अगर हम HUFs की बात करें, Hindu undivided families, क्या Hindu undivided families they can open up the account? Yes sir, they can open up the joint account where we have Karta as well as the core parceners, they can come together and they can open up a joint account. तो ये second option हमारी गलत हो जाती है. Third है illiterate person can open account but with thumb impression attested. हाँ, obviously if you cannot sign then you will be giving your left thumb impression for identification. Guardians can open an account on the behalf of minor. Yes, they can do that. NRE accounts can be opened jointly with resident Indians. नहीं sir. NRO account can be opened by NRI plus Indian resident, but in case of NRE account, it can be opened by NRI and it can be joined with NRI only. It cannot be joined with Indian resident. So keeping that in mind, answer is going to be 1, 3 and 4 only. Got it? Moving on to the next question. Regarding the current account, identify the correct statement. RBI guidelines prohibit opening of multiple current accounts for borrowers. अगर हम borrowers की बात करते हैं, for the borrowers, RBI prohibit, according to the RBI 2020 circular, RBI restrict multiple current account for borrowers. It's better that you should open up only one current account. That is correct. Lending bank can open current account for borrower with exposure above 5 crores. Yes sir, for greater than equals to 5 crore that is allowed. Non-lender banks can open current account if borrower exposure is less than 5 crores. That is also correct. All current accounts must be linked to legal entity identifier above a threshold. Yes, if there is a condition of threshold, if it is above that scenario, it should be linked. Individuals can open current account, there is no issue. So according to this, A option is correct. Fifth option incorrect हो जाएगा. बाकी चारों important question है. सुनने में लगता है करंट अकाउंट से कैसे टफ क्वेश्चन बनेगा. ये देखो बड़ा ही ब्यूटीफुल टफ क्वेश्चन बनाया गया फ्रॉम द करंट अकाउंट. नेक्स्ट, regarding the photographs of account holder, which statement are correct? Photograph is mandatory for all the individuals ओपनिंग अप द बैंक अकाउंट. बिल्कुल सर, जितने भी इंडिविजुअल्स हैं जो मिलकर एक बैंक अकाउंट ओपन कर रहे हैं सबकी फोटो रिक्वायर्ड है. दैट इज करेक्ट. नो फोटोग्राफ इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर ओपनिंग अकाउंट्स इन द नेम्स ऑफ द कंपनीज. हाँ, अगर आप एक बैंक अकाउंट ओपन कर रहे हैं एंड दैट टू इन द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी, इन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस देयर इज नो नीड of a photograph. That is correct. In case of HUF, photograph of all adult. In case of HUF, photograph of all adult co-par sensors are required. What will be your answer to this particular question? What will be your answer to this particular question? Then I would say in case of individual, photograph is mandatory. In case of company, not required. In case of HUF, only Karta photograph will solve the purpose. Photographs are required for minors also. Minor also photograph is required. For partnership firm, photos of all the operating partners or of all the partners operating the account are required. That is correct. So according to this, third statement is incorrect. Rest all are correct. So answer is going to be 1, 2, 4, 5. A option is correct. Agla. Legal entity identifier is a 20 character alphanumeric code, which is a global ID. That is correct. Used to uniquely identify parties to financial transactions. See, it is basically used for financial transactions, which is an aspect of risk management. Okay. Mandatory for all transactions above 50 crores. That is correct. Issued in India by the legal entity identifier India Limited. So in India, it is issued by legal entity identifier India Limited, which is operating under or which is a subsidiary of CCIL. So this is correct. Applicable only to individuals with current accounts? No, sir. It is not applicable to individual. It is for the non-individual customers. So answer for LEI is going to be B option. Agla question देखो. Which of the following statement or which of the following are the salient features of deposit account? Freedom to open saving account without minimum balance under BSPDA is allowed. That is absolutely correct. Interest on saving accounts, saving account deposit is regulated by RBI. We can say that yes, regulated in the sense RBI allows the banks to decide their lending rates independently, but the minimum limits can be fixed by RBI. That is true. Term deposit cannot be closed prematurely in any circumstances. This is wrong. Recurring deposit allows systematic savings with regular installments. That is correct. Sweep-in facility allows auto transfer from saving FD and vice versa. बिल्कुल सही है सर. अगर हम जब बात करते हैं फ्लेक्सी डिपॉजिट अकाउंट्स की, तो इन केस ऑफ फ्लेक्सी डिपॉजिट अकाउंट it has been very clearly witnessed that in case of flexi account or sweep in facility is available to from savings to FD can be done and from FD to savings can be done. So answer is going to be 1, 2, 4 and 5. A option is correct. Third statement is incorrect. Moving on to the next statement. The next question says on interest on deposit, which are true. Bank must pay interest on saving account deposit at quarterly or shorter intervals. That is correct. No interest is payable in term deposit if a term deposit is prematurely closed. No sir, it is wrong. अगर आपका 7 days से पहले आप विड्रॉ करते हैं, 7 days से पहले आप विड्रॉ करते हैं अपनी एफडी को, या फिर 6 महीने से पहले आप विड्रॉ करते हैं अपने आरडी अकाउंट को या क्लोज करते हैं आरडी अकाउंट को, in that particular case it is allowed. In that particular case, no rate of interest will be paid. That is correct. Interest on term deposit is payable on actual number of days. That is correct. Interest on term deposit is payable on actual number of days if withdrawn before quarter. अगर आप अपने टर्म डिपॉजिट अकाउंट को 3 महीने से पहले विड्रॉ कर लेते हो तो उस केस में ये सही हो जाएगा. अदरवाइज इट इज पेड ऑन ईयरली बेसिस. ठीक है. नो इंटरेस्ट रेट इज पेड ऑन करंट डिपॉजिट. दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. So in that context, I would say interest on inoperative account is payable like normal accounts. That is correct. So 1, 3, 4, 5 are correct. A option is the correct answer. Second statement is wrong. Next, banks, they cannot pay higher rate of interest on deposit of staff. No sir, they can pay. Bank has the power to pay extra rate of interest to their staff deposit. Bank has the power to charge low rate of interest on the loan given to the staff. Deposit of cooperative banks in scheduled commercial banks are covered under deposit of cooperative banks in scheduled commercial banks is covered under schedule. अच्छा, बोलना क्या चाह रहा है पहले वो समझा देता हूँ. सर ये क्वेश्चन ये कहना चाहता है कि इफ अ कोऑपरेटिव बैंक हैज ओपनड अप एन अकाउंट has opened up an account with a scheduled commercial bank, then the cooperative bank's deposit with the scheduled commercial bank will be insured or not. So in order to understand this particular point, you must know that whenever we talk about DICGC, there are some important points which you must know. So DICGC is Deposit Insurance Credit Guarantee Corporation of India, which is responsible to insure, the deposits with the scheduled commercial banks as well as your other payment banks, small finance banks and all whatnot. So now the question over here is, it says that अगर cooperative bank का deposit या cooperative bank ने एक deposit account open किया है और वो deposit account है किसके पास, और वो deposit account है किसी scheduled commercial bank के पास, क्या वो deposit amount insured होगी? That is a question which has been asked. So my answer to this particular question would be, please pay attention. This is very important point. It's a great question. It is tricky. So DICGC, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of RBI, it provides deposit insurance cover of 5 lakh rupees per depositor per bank. So it covers scheduled commercial banks as well as the eligible cooperative banks are also included. So if a cooperative bank keep deposits in scheduled commercial banks, those deposits are treated like another depositor's account and hence they are covered under DICGC. So according to this point is correct. Deposits of foreign government in the Indian government banks are exempted from CRR SLR. That is true. No interest is payable on overdue FD unless renewed. No interest is payable on overdue FD unless renewed. नहीं सर, ये तो गलत है. अगर आपका एक फिक्स डिपॉजिट अकाउंट है और फिक्स डिपॉजिट अकाउंट की अगर मैं बात करूं तो the moment it is overdue, that means it has matured, then bank will pay you either savings account current interest, saving account interest, or it will pay you the interest as fixed on the FD, whichever is lower. Next is FCNR deposit earn interest within prescribed limits by RBI. FCNR deposits earn interest within prescribed limit by RBI. Yes, sir, that is true. So answer is going to be A option. 2, 3, 5 are correct. ठीक है जी, clear हो गया. Moving on to the next one. The next point says, which of the following or which are the correct regarding an operative account? A saving account with no customer initiated transaction for 2 years becomes inoperative. That is true. Bank charges cannot be charged merely because an account is inoperative. That is true. Interest is payable on saving account, inoperative account. That is true. Customer KYC must be revalidated before allowing operations. Before allowing operation in case of inoperative accounts. In case of inoperative accounts, without completing the KYC, you won't be allowed to reuse your account. That is true. Balances are transferred to the Depositor Education and Awareness Fund, which is maintained by RBI after 10 years of completion. That is true. So I'll go with D option. That is all the 5 statements are absolutely correct. Regarding the operational instructions in joint account, either or survivor mode allows either holder to operate and balance to survivor on death. बिल्कुल सही है. अगर A और B ने अकाउंट ओपन किया, इट्स अ जॉइंट अकाउंट, ईदर और सर्वाइवर के साथ, either of them can access the account and at the time of either death of A or B, the survivor, whosoever is left, will be able to manage the account, will be able to review the former or survivor allows only the first account holder to operate during the lifetime. So former or survivor. So former means in case of A and B, we say that A is the former partner, so he will be managing the account for the entire life, but at the time of his death, B will be responsible to handle it. Latter or survivor is valid mode of operation. Latter or survivor is not a valid mode of, it is not a valid mode of operation. That is the case? No, sir. It is also a valid mode of operation. You can use it. The next point we have is mandate can be modified with consent of all account holders. Mandate can be modified with consent of all account holder. That is correct. Joint account cannot be nominated. That is wrong. Joint account can also be nominated. That is correct. Today on the regulatory bodies YouTube channel, I have discussed a draft given by RBI regarding the recovery of funds or the repayment of funds against these deceased accounts. So please go through and watch that video as well. Nomination facility, only one nominee is allowed per account. Earlier it was correct, or today also I would say it is correct, but from 1st of January 2026 and even before that it will be increased, or there will be allowed that you can appoint how many nominees? You can appoint 4 nominees. You can appoint 4 nominees. Earlier it was only 1, but now the count has been increased. Now you are allowed to appoint more than 1 nominee. You can appoint more than 1 nominee against your deposit account as well as your safe lockers with the banks. Safe lockers with the banks. So only 1 nominee per account is allowed. That is true because a depositor can nominate only 1 person per account regardless of whether it is a single or a joint account. Nomination can be made in favor of minor. Yes, sir. Nomination can also be made in the favor of minor. But if we talk about the latest clause, if we talk about the latest clause is under Banking Law Amendment Act 2025. It says that now you can have up to 4 nominees for a deposit account and you can appoint them successively as well as successively or sequentially. Successively or sequentially. So you can remember that. So in this particular case, implementation timeline, it is 1st of August 2025 if I'm not wrong. So in that particular case, if we assume the condition before 1st of August, then it is correct. Nominee must be a major individual only. That is wrong. You can appoint minor as a nominee. For minor, guardian details must be provided. That is true. Nomination can be changed multiple times. That is true. Nominee is beneficial owner of deposit. No, sir. Nominee is not beneficial owner. Nominee is trustee, legal heir of the account. So answer is going to be A option, considering कि अभी तक जो आपका बैंकिंग लॉ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट है दैट इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल. इफ इट इज एप्लीकेबल इन दैट केस फर्स्ट ऑप्शन विल आल्सो बी रॉन्ग. गॉट इट. नेक्स्ट, attachment orders are issued under. So whenever we talk about the attachment orders are issued under Income Tax Act 1961. That is true. It is issued under GST Act. That is true. It is issued under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. That is true. RBI Act में इसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं की गई. And civil and criminal codes also it is true. So attachment orders are issued under these 4 acts. So answer is going to be 1, 2, 3, 5. B option is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question, guys. Procedure for submission of records to statutory authorities. Banks, they must submit the information under the court orders. That is true. RBI, SEBI, ED may demand information. True. Bank cannot disclose customer data without consent unless mandated by law. That is true. Bank can refuse to honor statutory authority. Na. Bank RBI को SEBI को मना थोड़ा ना कर सकता. Reports like STR, CTR must be filed with FIU India. That is true. So answer is 1, 2, 3, 5. A option is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Which accounts are mandatorily KYC compliant? BSBD account, yes. Small accounts under simplified KYC, no. NRE, NRO, yes. Current account of the firms, yes. Accounts of foreign students, yes. So in that particular basis, what will be the correct answer? 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why I'm saying that small account under the simplified KYC is allowed? Simplified KYC means your KYC will be done on the basis of the available documents you have. That could be confirmation given by your ward member, or maybe by the sarpanch or the panchayat of your village, to justify that yes, you are the resident of that particular area. That is also included. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to unclaimed deposit? Deposits not claimed for 10 years must be transferred to DEF, which is with RBI, and RBI will pay rate of interest of 3% on the deposits which are transferred to DEF. समझ लेना. दूसरा, इंटरेस्ट इज पेबल ऑन सच डिपॉजिट एज पर आरबीआई. यस सर, मैंने बता भी दिया इंटरेस्ट 3% होगा. कस्टमर कैन क्लेम फ्रॉम डेफ वाया बैंक एनी टाइम. यस सर. बैंक पब्लिश द लिस्ट ऑफ unclaimed deposit yearly. Bank publish the list of unclaimed deposits yearly. That is true. After transfer to DEF, deposit is gone. No sir, that is not a case. Even after transfer to DEF, अगर आप वापस आते हैं तो आप अपने क्लेम को अपने डिपॉजिट को क्लेम कर सकते हैं. विच अकाउंट कैन नॉट बी ओपन एज पर गाइडलाइंस? बेनामी अकाउंट ओपन नहीं किया जा सकता. एनोनिमस और फिक्शियस अकाउंट ओपन नहीं किया जा सकता. अकाउंट ऑफ एंटिटीज बैंड अंडर UAPA, they are not allowed. That is correct. Account of mentally incapacitated person is not allowed to open an account. So I would say mentally incapacitated person as well as illiterate person, they can both open an account, but there are certain challenges which they have to fulfill in order to open up an account. But पहले 3 options के लिए तो account open हो ही नहीं सकता. So A option is correct. Got it guys? So that will be all from my side. अगर मजा आया हो तो जरूर इस सेशन को लाइक कीजिएगा, इस सेशन को शेयर कीजिएगा with your friends, and I will be catching you all in the upcoming sessions to go. Good luck. God bless you all.